25F. Don't trust my boyfriend, 28M, and here's why. Well, my boyfriend and I were just friends for a while. So I know details about him and every woman he's been with, since he'd share these stories with me while we were friends. Side note. He makes jokes about my appearance all the time. He calls me ugly, pimply, red face, fat, etc. He says they're jokes but they make me feel so undesired. Anyways, he's out of town visiting his friend for the weekend. And he's sleeping over a girl's house that he used to sleep with, because his friend dates this girl's roommate. He hasn't texted me at all tonight and I know him and this girl have history. I just don't trust him and I made it blatantly clear it makes me uncomfortable. I'm sure he'll somehow spin this on me and make me out to look crazy. I don't know what to do. I feel so unwanted. I'm not sure if it's even worth trying for. What do you all think? Why the hell are you dating someone who calls you ugly and makes fun of your appearance regularly? You don't joke about people's looks unless you are a narcissistic psycho. He's verbally abusive, untrustworthy, and has no issues staying with a girl he slept with before, despite how that would obviously affect you, which just further demonstrates his lack of respect and seeming mild contempt for you. I don't understand why you haven't dumped him yet. So why are you with him? He's an asshole. What an asshole. Know your worth. He sounds awful. Dump him. That stuff doesn't sound like joking at all. If he makes you feel undesired, he's not worth your time. All the guys that have made comments about my weight are in the past and should remain that way. You deserve better. F30 who opened up our relationship now wants to end it but I'm M33 and love F28. TLDR. Wife of 12 years 3 kids a house wanted to open up the relationship. The new person who came in is loving and caring ADI. I realized that I've been enduring really toxic behaviors, yelling, cut eyes, cold shoulders, withheld affection walking out of conversations, since the beginning. Having had a really rough childhood, I think I just wasn't aware that these behaviors from my wife was affecting me negatively. Wife is now perceiving me as leaving with the new pretty young thing instead of committing to our relationship, but I cannot unsee some of the things that has happened in the past few days. In a moment of crisis, she hit herself until she got a black eye. Our 6-year-old saw the scene. She had me call the ambulance and then spin it like I was trying to have her committed. She power cleaned the house aggressively from 2 to 5 a.m. without regards for anyone's sleep and would not engage, ignore any attempt to communicate. It's very volatile and it's been like this for years. This new person provided me with verifiable evidence and perspectives that has now fundamentally changed how I view myself, and I question the values and behaviors of my partner in the light of how she lived that experience and what she expects of others. Currently, she is asking me that I remove her from our house, or else. When I ask about what it means, she just says basically she will continue throwing tantrums as long as I entertain this emotional affair. 72 hours ago, my wife was telling this woman about building a life together, sync, pregnancies, etc. Everyone is suffering from whiplash at this point and I'm unsure if I just let them figure this out as they are both looking at me waiting for me to dump one or the other. Protect your kids and yourself here. She sounds completely unstable. Divorce the wife. She will never recover from this. Your wife needs help. Psychiatric or medical, I'm not sure which. She is behaving erratically. Even opening your marriage is not a normal action. But the manic behavior, I'm like, is it bipolar? Is she in a psychiatric break? A psychosis? And then another thought came. Could she have a brain tumor? Something is wrong, op. Something is very wrong. Please make sure your wife gets help. Update. My best friend's girlfriend wants me to back off. Original post. Thank you everyone that commented on the previous post and giving some advice on how to deal with this frankly strange situation. Took me a bit to make sense of that day, so I'll try to be clear. The original update might have been removed because I posted too soon, not really sure, cold sweat smile. Some of you mentioned that I should avoid talking with Caleb for a bit or immediately send him screenshots. The same day that I posted, Leo came over for dinner and asked me if I had gotten any weird messages. He showed me his phone and seemed to have had a similar conversation that day with someone during his lunch break that blocked him not long after. Finding it strange, Leo made sure to text Caleb if he would be willing to have a Zoom call with us the following day with the excuse that we were a bit concerned about something. Like most of you said, Caleb had no idea that we were messaged that day. The next day, we got on the Zoom call with Caleb and asked how he had been along with other mundane questions out of nervousness. I guess we both wanted to rip off the bandage and asked him if he had shared our number with anyone lately. Caleb was confused and said that he hadn't, no one had asked about reaching out to us and he was the only one as far as he knew that should have had our numbers. The conversation then kinda went like this. Leo. That's reassuring, we were both a little worried since we had gotten some weird messages from someone supposedly claiming to be your girlfriend. But if you never shared our numbers, it was probably someone playing a mean prank. Caleb. Wait, you both got messages? Was it from the same number? Me. Yeah, and our messages were pretty similar. Do you want us to send them to you? Leo sent a screen recording of his messages and I sent my screenshots, along with picture details since I have an Android. We waited while Caleb looked through what we sent him and finally he asked us if he could make a call in front of us. We didn't have a problem with that and told him to go ahead. Putting the call on speaker mode, we waited until finally someone picked up. Mildred. Hey baby, what's up? I thought you had a Zoom thing today. Caleb. It finished early, but I needed to know if you have been looking through my phone. Mildred. No, why would I do that? I only ever use your phone when my phone is dead. Why are you asking? Caleb. I'm asking because some weirdo has been texting my friends. Mildred. Well, someone else must have thought y'all were weirdly close and texted them to stop talking to you. Caleb. I never told you what the messages said, so stop lying to me and tell me why you're doing this. She pretty much went off on him and saying how could he believe us over her. She always knew we were some weird polyamorous group. She was the only person he needed, and would have kept going if Caleb hadn't ended it with, thank you for the information. Now block my number and never talk to me or my friends again. None of us really knew what to say after he ended the call and Caleb asked, do y'all still want to come and meet up when our schedules work? So yeah, Mildred was all kinds of crazy. Caleb thanked us for reaching out to him and was sorry he didn't notice. Leo and I are still planning with Caleb our trip. He intends on making us get into Magic the Gathering, and thankfully our trio is still pretty close. None of us really know why she thought we would take Caleb from her, but trying to even understand it gives me a headache. We ended our Zoom call on a good note and hopefully we don't hear from Mildred again. So, Caleb has dodged the bullet of a psycho, controlling girlfriend. That's excellent news. Wouldn't he have recognized her number from the screenshots? It's kind of amusing that her actions caused the exact thing she was worried about to happen. He definitely dodged a bullet. Good luck with your new relationship. You'll like Money Pit the Gathering. It's fun. Don't get deep into it though. I use MTG Arena to play and no go broke. My man Caleb went full Neo here. He intends on making us get into Magic the Gathering. My brother, you gonna be broke. The child we, 19 female and 21 male, are babysitting is acting strange, what can we do? I, 19 female, and my boyfriend, 21 male, are babysitting my friend, late 30s F.'s son, 12 meters. The kid has been acting strange since my friend dropped him off. I can't put my finger on it but my boyfriend has noticed it too. We were told by his mom that he was a troublemaker, yet he's the complete opposite. He's very helpful but I think he's trying too hard to please us and it's obvious he's nervous around us. He's like a perfectionist and he apologizes a lot more than he needs to. For the past few days, he's been locking his door in the night even though we've told him not to in case of any emergencies. My boyfriend says he thinks it's so that we don't hear him crying because he's been crying uncontrollably almost every night, for 30 minutes 2 hours at most. We called his mom and she said he was probably homesick or looking for attention. We tried to make him feel better by taking him out to a restaurant for breakfast. We said he could choose what he wanted but he wanted us to choose for him. While we were eating he dropped his fork by accident and he screamed and he looked so horrified. Then, as I went to pick up the fork he started backing up and apologizing then ran to the restroom. I called his mom to ask if he might have anxiety and I was told that this was the troublemaking she was talking about and that he's seeking attention. If he does it again we are to call her, but now he's been really quiet and has locked himself in his room for most of the day. Anything else we can do? Jesus, poor kid, sounds like he lives in a world of terror at home if he thinks he will be punished for dropping a spoon. Maybe you could question him of what's going on at home. His mum also sounds so dismissive. Nah, that's straight up an emotionally and physically abused kid. He's terrified over small mistakes. I think he gets hit over something as trivial as dropping utensils. He deserves better. That's not a troublemaker. That's a child who needs someone to lean on. A child who needs an ally. Please show him that he's safe with you guys around. Do not call the mom. The kid is being abused. He will be punished by her when he goes home and it will be worse for each time you call. Don't know what country you live in, but you need to contact some kind of child protection authority ASAP. The kid is probably being abused in some way, hence the defensive traits.